Hello everyone, this is Ritika Kanoji and you're watching Textile Value Chain. Today we are going to interview Mr. Sharad Tandon. He is a IACC's chairman of the Textile Forum.
Yeah.
Introduce what is IACC and something about yourself.
So, Indo-American Chamber of Commerce is a huge trade body or a chamber of commerce which has been created to facilitate trade between India and USA across all the value chains. It was founded by Mr. Kirloskar in his heydays, and in today's time, it is among the board members are Anand Mahindra ji, Narayan Murthy, among many other industries. As far as the textile forum is concerned, we are happy to note that USA constitutes 30% of India textile exports overall, and the figure is about 87,000 crores per year in that. What my role would be to try and see how much can be enhanced in this and streamlined, and particularly try and bring the MSME sector into the fold, which is at the moment slightly on the lower side. That's what we look forward to.
So India's textile industry is witnessing rapid transformation. What do you believe is the biggest challenge that second generation textile entrepreneurs face while taking over family businesses today?
Being born into a comfort zone, so the risk aversion is very high. The drive is difficult, and then there are generational challenges because the operational mindset and the safety orientation of the elder, where they do want to give freedom, but in action, what we have seen, freedom is actually not granted. So if they overcome that mindset and work together more professionally rather than just father and son, I think that will make a lot of difference.
So, digital transformation, AI, and automation are reshaping manufacturing. Which technology should textile companies prioritize over next 5 years to remain globally competitive?
So I think being very practical, the AI is a very glamorous word to be used, but I don't think India is ready for that because we don't have the accurate databases that is required to let a machine take all the decisions on its own. So what would be the next step is what we call machine intelligence or digital acquisition of data rather than leaving the decision making to that. So human oversight in India is going to be required for some time to come.
So, sustainability is no longer optional. How can traditional textile manufacturer integrate sustainable practice while maintaining profitability and operational efficiency?
Now, operational efficiency is fine. Probably you can maintain operational efficiency, but the cost part of it is the major challenge. And because the biggest aspect comes is of traceability, which even if you start on the path of sustainability, is what is going to be required. Frankly, I am not sure Indian industry is equipped in its information systems and data gathering to really serve that. So that is going to be the main challenge, which they have to keep in mind whenever they are transitioning in that.
So, government initiatives like PM Mitra Parks, PLI scheme, and BharatEx aim to strengthen India's textile sector. Which policy do you believe will have the greatest long-term impact, and what additional reforms are still needed?
So to be a little disruptive or unconventional, I think the 8 of that was there was a very useful scheme for capital expansion. As of now, in certain sectors, yes, PMLI or PLI, whatever you call it, will make a difference, but it's going to be a slow. I think a lot of states have already stepped in with their own subsidy models, which range from 10% to 50% across various stages. I think those will be major enablers for expansion.
So, in your opinion, why BharatEx is different from other exhibition?
Because this is, I think, the only exhibition in India which brings across all the segments under one area. Everyone else is either a machine focus or garment focus or yarn focus, and this has become a must visit. So whether people are exhibiting, people do come, they go across, and then they do understand what developments are taking place in Nexus, and maybe it gives them food for thought of looking and expanding into other areas as well.
So, as you know, today large amount of textile student visited BharatEx. So, how a textile student can start their career in textile company or production?
So it's of course would depend on the students. This thing, whatever their thought process is, but they should define their career path first. Focus on that. Maybe take up internships in good company, which may be relatively less remunerative to start with, and make sure that they get the initial knowledge, the depth, and the expertise and the soft skills that are required apart from the hard skills that they may have acquired in their institutes to be a successful CEO.
So, as you know, today's Gen Z generation,
Yeah.
new fashion trends. So, what is your opinion on sustainability and traceability, where Gen Z wants a trend as well as a sustainability, in your opinion?
It's a very difficult conflictive opinion. So one thing that I have learned is when people want to use sustainability as a marketing tool or a value add, the entitlement of the supplier is the buyer should pay me extra for that. But the fact is, no one will pay you to save the world. If they want to save the world, they will pay it themselves. So the industry has to merge sustainability with cost effectiveness, and as you said, the fast fashion sense requirement of the Gen Z. That's a issue for industry to solve.
So, last but not the least question, what are the message do you want to say to the people who have not visited Bharat this year?
Biggest mistake you could make.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your precious word.
Right. Thanks.